Today, we're doing our first movie special with Dead Zone, where we review it, talk all about it, maybe even find some fun facts, and give a final score on our first movie. Here we go.
Wow, that was professional, bro. I didn't expect you to kill it like that. That was real easy.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Wow, that music hitting too, bro. This is our first ever movie spectacular, Nano. Are you excited?
I am.
Bro, I don't even have to ask.
Very excited, dude. Yeah, you do not have to ask. The Dragon Ball Z movies have like a special place in my heart. All of them. Even if I don't remember a single thing about them, just like Dead Zone.
Just like Dead Zone. I actually have no idea. I would put this at, if I had to scale it 1 to 10 of how much I remember, I would give this an actual 1. And that's a light 1, bro. It could be a strong 0. I remember nothing.
The most I remember about this movie is what the LR, the gold coin LR that came out in the middle of 2021 told me. That's about it. They do a costume change at some point because they take off their weighted clothing, and that's as much as I remember. I'm going to keep it 100% with you.
And you brought up a good point. Like, this has a filler variation in the actual show.
Yes.
I think that only adds to how much I don't remember. Like, I'm confused.
Exactly. And then, so if you guys, again, subscribe to the Patreon, which you can do by clicking the link in the description. If you're watching us, if you're listening to us, it's in the bio. You can find it. It's just Key Moments Patreon. Anyway, here's the thing. I made a fool out of myself last week because I was trying to throw out the movies, and I knew the order. I know the order of like 5 through the rest of them, but I was like, man, what is 1, 2, 3, and 4? And I'm like, well, wait, 4 is definitely Slug. And I'm like, but wait, is it? Because where's Dead Zone? And then if we looked up the anime component of this, anime component does not happen until around episode 100. So that's what was throwing me off as to Dead Zone is the first official movie and technically takes place like between Dragon Ball and Z. So
yeah, I couldn't believe how fast we got to the first movie in the timeline we're following. I was shocked. I thought we had like, I don't know, I guess I thought it would be like a 60 episode thing around there.
And that's,
but to get to this early,
we'll get to another movie before Namek Saga, because the World's Strongest happens between the end of Saiyan and the beginning of the Namek Saga. So,
bro, now that we're doing our first movie, I just want to lightly touch on the fact that thank God anime movies have moved past this point of just making random nonsensical storylines like that try to fit in, bro. I hated this. Even as a kid, I hated this, dude. Like, My Hero fans are kind of still going through it a little bit, but even then they kind of work on that a little more. But thank God, if we get an anime movie nowadays, it's like at least loosely tied into the main canon. Like Dragon Ball now, like Broly still happens in the manga. Superhero,
even if it's just one panel, but still.
Yeah. Yes, even that. I'll take even that. Like Superhero, it's getting a different spin on it in the manga with some more details added in, but the core events still happen in canon. I used to hate this shit, man.
Well, yeah, and trying to pinpoint, like especially, you're a little younger than me, but for me, if you even cared to pinpoint where this was, you were deep into the forums on like page 78, and like someone is really explaining where this happens. Trying to also remind you this is non-canon, and you're like, what does non-canon mean? I don't know, I don't care. But they're trying to explain the timeline of events, and you're like, wait,
bro, do you know how?
Why does the movie Dead Zone happen prior to the events of Z, but then the anime filler arc happens post episode 100? Like, what?
Exactly, bro. It makes no sense even on a conceptual level. And bro, I care so much because these Dragon Ball Z movies are the first time I got actually and embarrassed in real life, bro. I remember I'm on the playground. I'm young. I'm a kid. I'm talking about how like, oh, of course Frieza has a brother. Frieza's brother's cooler. And then, bro, actually, Cool's not even canon. He's just in a movie. I'm like, bro, the movies are real. I saw the movie yesterday.
Exactly.
He's like, no, bro, it's not canon. I'm like, bro, shut up. He's in the games and in the movie, bro. You're lying,
dude.
But he wasn't.
That's a whole nother thing that like bothers me these days. Because when I was growing up, and I get like, I guess factually, you know, what's canon and non-canon. Who cares? By the way, you play the games and everything feels canon. But like when I was growing up, again, to date me a little bit, like, to access and find out all this info, you had to actively take the time to sit at a PC, because again, smartphones weren't a thing. You then had to find like a forum somewhere and just believe the person that was telling you this was true, because like all this info wasn't just like readily available, you know? So I didn't really know about this whole non-canon thing until like I don't know, 07, 08, 09, which for me is like in my teens. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like you said, I just watched the movies. I believed what I saw, and like that's
I was gonna say, canon to me was just whatever information I was privy to, bro. Like if I played a game and I played a story, like that was what I knew. Like Cooler showed up, he said he was Frieza's brother. Cooler's Frieza's brother, bro. That's just facts.
Yes, and then
you can't deny that.
You're in Budokai, and all of a sudden, you know, like Broly shows up, and you're like, Broly, you know, and he's like a character in the game. So I mean, he's got to be real. Like he's not real. They made him like one of the last characters you unlock in the game.
Broly was a tough one, bro, because you would explain. I remember Broly on the playground. I'll keep this light because this is not Broly's movie day. This is Dead Zone movie day. I just don't know anything about it. But like, Broly was a tough one because this happened with the canon discussion. Like after I was talking to these kids, it's like, Broly's so cool. No, he's not, man. Broly's lame and not canon. And he's just mad because Goku was crying and Broly's a big crybaby. I was like, what? I was like, I don't understand, because I like loosely remembered the movies, and I think Broly was more of like a video game character to me. Like he was like the tough Super Saiyan, like the guy.
I can see that. That's fair.
So that's what Broly was to a lot of the kids on the playground, is Broly is just a big Super Saiyan, and we don't really know who he is. And so one day this kid just dropped a horrible like information, like, nah, Broly's backstory is that Goku cried a lot, bro, and he's pissed that Goku did that to him. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, bro, none of this makes sense. I hate movies, man. I hate these Dragon Ball movies. I hated them, bro. That's why I like no kid nowadays has to worry about this stupid movie shit, because Broly's story just makes sense.
Yes,
it's there, it's canon, it happens, and every event from now on is gonna make sense around Broly. I'm so happy for that.
You know, another thing with Broly, and not again, this is not supposed to turn into this. By the way,
yeah,
we're filming this prior to having watched the movie. We're about.
Oh yeah, that's why we're talking about this, bro. And Dead Zone is like nothing. At least right now, I know nothing about Dead Zone.
Yes. I will. So what I want to say, and just to address something, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I love that we're past the era of just like these random movies, as we've already said. But something I really appreciated in Broly, and DBS Broly specifically, was the acknowledgement of the fact that it was after TOP. The acknowledgement, you know, of like,
that was so
just
sick.
All of that. Like it really placed you into the timeline. There was not like this just. Realistically, you can only kind of tell in these movies for the most part if you're just a casual, based on can they go Super Saiyan, can they not go Super Saiyan, at what level of Super Saiyan can they go, kind of thing. You know?
Yes, bro. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead. You spitting right now.
So it's nice to have like with DBS Broly, which is like, I mean, like Gods and Resurrection F kind of already established it, but I feel like DBS Broly did it the best in terms of like really understanding in the timeline where things were.
You actually you spin,
and
damn.
So I can appreciate that movie wholeheartedly, and still, and maybe this will change after we do the entire rewatch, because of course we will be doing a special for all the movies, as well as if this is your first time seeing us, we're doing an entire rewatch of Dragon Ball Z specifically, which is why now it's time to watch a movie, or we're taking the time to watch a movie. Technically could have watched it before now. Anyway, but as of right now, until we do this full rewatch and I get a nice fresh, you know, rewatch of everything, I still stand by the fact that I think DBS Broly is technically the best from start to finish movie from Dragon Ball that we've had to date.
Absolutely.
So that's where I stand. Sorry, what were you going to say though?
Superhero's not too far behind.
Oh yeah,
because I think
they're right there.
They're working very hard on this time. I think they're fixing a lot of issues. But you're right. The hardest part about these movies, and we're going to talk about it today, this has to do with Dead Zone, is you're right. Timeline. You never know with these Dragon Ball Z movies. You cannot tell. All you can go by is what Nano said. Can they go Super Saiyan? I just had a bitch, bro. False Super Saiyan is like, that messed me up as a kid, because I was like, where is this, bro? Can he go Super Saiyan or not? What is happening? That messed with me, bro. So that's a good. I'm looking forward to what actually happens in Dead Zone, because without access to Super Saiyan, I don't really know how this ends or who gets the raid shot. I'm hoping it's my boy Gohan. I don't remember.
Oh man, you know what? Gohan probably does do some shenanigans in this
movie. He probably gets a rage moment. That's my guess. Let's do our guesses for what Dead Zone is. You go first. I guess I went first. It's Gohan gets the ending rage kill.
Okay. I think it's going to be a very similar situation of Goku and Piccolo versus the villain. So very similar to Raditz.
That's a good guess.
No one dies.
That's a good guess.
So
how does Gohan fit into the equation in your story? Does he do anything?
Gohan is definitely here. I think so this is, again, I'm very excited to see this. I just don't know how old maybe what I'm remembering for Gohan is actually from the anime filler, which is where he is older. And so I'm reading right here, if the wiki is to be believed, it says Dead Zone is the only film that takes place after the end of Dragon Ball and before the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. The events of this movie can be placed into the series timeline between episodes the end of the beginning of Piccolo Jr. saga and the new threat of the Vegeta saga. So with that in mind, are we looking at the Gohan where we're at currently in our rewatch, which has aged? I don't know how he's aged up as much as he has. I feel like it's only been like a few days, but he already looks like at least a few years older.
He's rugged. Yeah, he's rugged Gohan. He's punished Gohan now.
Or are we, and again, this tells you why that we've not watched it yet, or are we looking at Gohan that is still in his, tiny little kid outfit with his Dragon Ball hat?
If he's a baby, I'm pissed. I do not remember. I feel like you're right though. It's probably from the anime. I remember Gohan yelling about something.
I remember long hair Gohan, right? Is that what you're picturing?
I feel that too, but also now I feel like I'm remembering him in his baby outfit, but maybe that's just from the Raditz saga. Bro, I'm cooked. You got me, bro.
But also, I'll say this too. The last thing I'll say for like potential predictions, I think that we're gonna see some really cool stuff from the humans. I think we might see like Krillin do something really cool here or something
That's true. This is probably one of the last few times that the humans will actually get to compete against like the main antagonist, if that even happens.
Yeah,
bro. Like
these first few movies are all within because Turles. I haven't looked up Turles, but Turles is movie 3. There's no way Turles is that deep into the Namek saga, if deep into the Namek saga at all. So like these first 3 movies should see a lot of good play from the humans. I would think. If not, then they're just really underutilized, and it's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, if not, then I'm retiring from the movies, bro. Like, what if
Krillin is a key player in this movie?
I'd love that. Hey, I'll take that. Maybe a Yamcha Spirit Ball or 2.
Oh wait, yeah. Yamcha may come out and play. I feel like
Yamcha could Spirit Ball in this film. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Damn, I'm excited, bro. When we getting into it, I'm excited.
Let's give preemptive scores. Let's just do it. Just for the one time. Maybe we'll start doing this on the movies, but just the movies specifically. All right. What do you think you're going to score this?
I don't want to be a hater, bro. It's the first. Actually, no. Hold on. I think this movie should easily get a 7. Surely they tried hard for the first Dragon Ball Z movie. Right? They would try hard on this one.
Yes,
animation wise.
I think we're looking at a 7. I'm gonna try not to get too gassed up because I think what we're gonna see, something I really enjoy about the movies too, is they always bring it with the action, right? Because they've only got your attention for 35-40 minutes. So I think we're gonna see some really good choreography here. That's what I'm hoping. Is they're coming off the heels of original Dragon Ball, which everyone knows and loves for a lot of good choreography. Something they want to see them go back to a lot. I think we're gonna see some really good choreography, and I'm hoping that doesn't gas me up too much. So I'm also gonna go with a 7. But
I'm leaning towards that. Just like what you said, I think they're gonna try really hard on the fight scenes and that stuff, and that should be enough to secure a 7. I'm worried about a 4. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried a 4 could show up here with
that would be a crazy story. Dude. I don't think there's any way this is a 4, but you know what?
Really, I hope so.
Let's find out. All right, Doto, we've now officially watched the first Dragon Ball Z movie.
And I'm winded. What a great experience. First of all, gotta say that. Bro, I'm winded, bro. We just experienced something beautiful, man. And beautiful in the sense of Garlic Jr. I mean,
I agree.
What a character.
I'm winded as well.
Hey, quick quiz for everybody in the audience. If you watched along with us, which, you probably didn't have to, but this is more a question for Nano. Nano, name the 3 guys that worked for Garlic Jr., bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna make a joke, and then I didn't want to take away from it while we were watching it, but I genuinely, what I was gonna say was because I pointed out they hadn't told us their names yet, and then finally they self-proclaimed their names. They're about to fight. And what I was going to say is I need to know their names for whenever I get asked on Twitter. And then when I can't respond on Twitter, I'm told I'm a fake fan because I don't know the 3 henchmen of Garlic Jr., But I'm looking at it now. It's Ginger, Sancho, and is it
I remember
Nikki?
Sancho.
I
remember Sancho.
I think it's those 3, but I could be wrong.
My whole point was just that they're very forgettable character. They were funny, bro. They were funny. They had some actual funny moments. We had some gut busting in there. But the fact that they just basically the only reason they say their names is because that they're anime characters, so they will say their name at least once. Yeah. But you could have gone this entire movie and not known any of the villain characters other than Garlic Jr., which even then Garlic Jr. himself was not like the name of the character. He was not a very we could have the movie, honestly, if he just kept himself in mystery, that would have worked. The movie would be the same movie, honestly.
Yes, no, yeah. Yeah.
Like Garlic Jr. having that name means nothing.
I could not agree more, if I'm being honest with you. By the way, there's some fun facts about this.
Oh, are there? You got trivia facts?
Yeah, I want to start us off with one. I don't want to jump in too deep with it because we really need to make sure we start just probably segmenting these like in a very traditional way.
Sure, bro. But this is the first movie special. If you want to start us off with a fun fact, I mean, go ahead.
So this movie, did not know this, was originally titled just simply Dragon Ball Z the movie. Did you know that?
That is crazy, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to spoil my thoughts too much, but this movie is not good enough to be called Dragon Ball Z the movie. I can see what they were going for. I can see what they were going for because this movie does hit a lot of key points that I could see calling it Dragon Ball Z the movie. I could see what they were going for, but they did not execute that nearly as good enough.
100% what this is what we probably do on the daily, where like you're trying to make sure as many people watch that movie as possible. So you're like,
no, yes, I can see why they did it.
You know, like
Dragon Ball Z the movie. That's going to get them to come out and see it.
This is a shout out to, of course, the wiki, as we reference a lot in here because the wiki is always a great source for just referencing back to things. But it premiered on July 15th at the 1989 Toei Cartoon Festival, along with a few other movies, and it was just originally titled simply Dragon Ball Z the movie during its theatrical release. It was then dubbed into English by the Canadian company Ocean Productions in 1997 for the American company Funimation. The title then was changed to Dead Zone, and then it was redubbed, which is what we just watched, by Funimation itself in 2005. Now, if that is true, then that means the first time I watched this movie actually was not with Sean's Goku. It was with Peter, right? And his name Peter is oh my gosh. Peter, I think so, bro. Peter Kalamis, however you say his name.
I'm not gonna lie, the Ocean dub is like very mysterious to me.
Yes,
I've only known Sean.
That would probably be about this and The World's Strongest and maybe Tree of Might are probably my only real experiences that I could recall even remotely with the Ocean dub, because I probably did watch the Ocean dub on Cartoon Network or on TV, because I remember watching Dragon Ball, at least before everything I can find, before Dragon Ball was apparently taken over and done with like Chris and Sean and them. But I don't remember watching it with the Ocean dub, if that makes sense. But I bet you if I popped in one of these movies and heard the voices, it would have some sort of like maybe nostalgic effect. But yeah, for me, like Sean is Goku and Chris is
I missed that part entirely. But what do you think? I just conceptually, bro, I want to get your take on this. What do you think about it being called Dragon Ball Z the movie? I feel like I can see why they did that. Like there's shots in here. Like there's one of my big pros about the movie. We got to structure this out. I don't want to get too far ahead, but
yeah,
it's a very beautiful background movie. And there are moments where I can see they were going for like, this is the big version of Dragon Ball Z, like, and also a bit of Dragon Ball. Like there's an ending shot, like Goku uses the power pole in this movie, and the ending shot of him picking it up is just like, it's drawn in a way that it's like very beautiful. I guess I don't know how to overhype it, but it's like, it's like a big deal that he's picking it up, and it ends emotionally too. So I could see why they call it that, but it's just like too weak.
They probably also called it that because it was probably, again, if this is really supposed to take place in between the events of the end of Dragon Ball and before you watch that first episode of Dragon Ball Z, this may have been almost like promotion to be like, hey, Dragon Ball Z, and again, I don't know this, someone can probably fact check me by the time you're watching this, but was Dragon Ball Z airing on before July 15th of 1989? I can technically just look that up, because if that's why they called it Dragon Ball Z the movie, then it was more so just for marketing purposes, to be like, look, Dragon Ball's back, they're not aged up some, the villain is now kind of working with the hero, that kind of thing. Then I get that from a marketing perspective. But yes, I'm with you wholeheartedly. And not to spoil too much, but my number might have changed, that I just guessed a few minutes ago for you guys. I don't know that this backs that title very well, but
yes, I get the marketing. I just kind of wish, I guess overall, I think they could have done the same idea but gone a little crazier. But whenever you're ready, maybe we should go back to the beginning because apparently I got a lot to say, bro. There's a lot that's just on my mind.
Oh, okay. So one last final fun fact. I'm gonna fact check myself because Dragon Ball Z first started airing in Japan on April 26th of 1989. I feel like a part of me knew that because there's been some it's just when you're on Twitter, they love to remind people love dates. Like those kind of tweets always pop off when it's like this time 23 years ago, you know.
Happy birthday to Dragon Ball. Yes, yeah, they got those scheduled out for years to come, bro.
Exactly. So it originally aired, if this is to be correct, first episode air date was April 26th of 89. So this came out about 3 months after the fact. Which again, it can be kind of weird with like scheduling stuff like that. But this did come out in the middle of the Saiyan Saga run, based on everything that we saw happen in this film, this definitely gives you the vibe that it is intended to be between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Again, not to jump too far, but especially during one of the last pivotal moments that you and I both kind of like enjoyed. Also, Gohan's fit, the Gohan's age. Gohan has clearly not went through any of his training with Piccolo, even though this probably aired in the midst of his training with Piccolo. We
watched it, I think, in the right order.
I was about to say, would you? I feel like if you did the math, we probably watched this exactly how people watched it when it was airing. Like we've got to be almost
we're
on, which was
that's
not on
the
purpose.
Road we're walking.
So it was actually crazy that I think we might have managed to watch this when it technically aired for people when they were watching it back then. Wait,
and that's why I think it was hidden.
Dude, no, you're not. Dude, no, you're not. No.
What's up, bro? What you find?
Dude, so this aired on July 15th, right?
Yeah.
So we just got through watching episodes 9 and 10. The 10th episode of Dragon Ball aired on July 5th of 1989. The next episode, which is titled Trouble on Arlia, aired on July 12th. So if we would have just watched one more episode of Dragon Ball Z,
and we would have been perfect.
We would have been perfect. This was not even on purpose.
We should have just watched the one. We should have just watched the one.
We should have.
I could tell we were kind of synced because again, the last thing on this being called Dragon Ball the movie over there during its original release is this is like when you watch this movie, it covers every core point of Dragon Ball Z that we've seen so far, other than like the actual lore stuff of the series. So it felt very much like almost like reminding us of what we've already seen. Like Gohan, hidden power. Goku, strong. Piccolo, villain, but can work together with Goku. What?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff we're seeing. It's just like the beginning of the show again with a different target. But I couldn't believe we're that close. I thought we were just like in the ballpark, but we're like right there, bro. We're watching this in the right order, which is sick.
Yes, which I again, total just like coincidence. Did not mean to do that, but absolutely.
I think we should try. We should really like line that up as good as possible.
Moving forward, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that we actually line these up as best as possible because that worked out so well and it just fits so well into how we're watching this. But anyway, so it is of course now known as Dead Zone, so that's how we'll refer to it moving on. But I thought that was a fun fact, and maybe some of you guys just discovered that as well with us. And the fact that it didn't get redubbed until 2005 is also crazy. So I definitely can confirm that is the first time I've watched this version of this movie for sure. Then if that is true and it wasn't dubbed until 2005, the one time I've ever seen this movie would have definitely been through the Ocean dub. And I actually think I own the Pioneer DVD version of this, which only contains, from what I can tell, the Pioneer DVD that I have that I think I got out of a bin at like a Big Lots or something.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
That fished it up.
Right. So I can definitely probably confirm, knowing all this info, that I've never seen it with the Funimation dub. I've only ever seen it with the Ocean dub, which is also a very, very interesting one. But anything else you want to say before we actually dive into a sort of like summary?
No, I'm ready to like get into this piece by piece. I got a lot to say. Starting with, bro, this movie just starts. Yes. There is no opening to this movie. It just starts.
I loved it. You get the sort of like triangle symbol, and you think it's about to follow up with the intro, and then instead you get hit with immediate Piccolo shot, which I was like,
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing if this is like, because it feels like that's just a movie thing. Is you're used to, or like at least in anime Dragon Ball movies, you're used to a little bit of ramp up before anything of fighting substance happens.
Yes,
but you know, like in the new movies, we get like long-winded like opening scenes, like Act 1, and then the fighting starts.
I think that's what also threw me off too, because again, I'm not really I'm beating a dead horse here, but I've not watched a lot of these first like 4 movies. I have not watched them since I was a child, and so the 5 through like 13 all have a very similar formula, like all of them, and that was one of my big complaints. They all do the
same shit. They all do the same thing.
You can kind of rinse and repeat. All of those movies do damn near the same thing. They set up the villain, you get the human / basic interaction with everyone. Villain arrives, we kind of lose a little bit, and then we win. That's the general rinse and repeat for literally every single film, which is, again, not to jump the gun too much because we should eventually get there, but Dragon Ball Super Broly, I felt it changed that up. Dragon Ball Super Broly felt like the first time that we really deviated too much from what I was familiar with, again, from watching the other films so many times. And so coming into this, did not anticipate to go not into intro and just immediately get slapped with a shot of Piccolo and a Piccolo fighting. Like that was such a change up for me going into this.
Yeah, it starts, Piccolo screams like, "Ah, damn you, Goku, I'll get you next time." Immediately shot by the 3 bad guys, the henchmen, and he's just like, whoa. And a lot of this movie, this is very early anime, so the writing and setting up events isn't the best. So Piccolo just goes, "I'll find you and get you back for this," and then he gets shot again. And we're supposed to think that Piccolo could be dead.
Yeah, but we know. But if you know the lore,
we know he's not. Yeah, we know he's
not. Be dead.
Yeah, we're fine. And but then that's just the first second.
Yeah, but why does Kami think that Goku did it? I guess that was that threw both of us off a little bit. I feel like.
Just that scene in general. I couldn't tell if Kami was blaming Goku, but more like Kami was the one that was announcing to the audience, like, "Oh no, Piccolo could be dead here." Well, bro, we see you. Like, we know he's not. He's fine.
Yeah.
But rough opening, though it does show that this movie looks good. I like the visuals in this movie a lot. Specifically, not so much the fighting. I predicted the fighting would get me, but switching over to our next scene after the Kami stuff, the background art, bro. I was just a little fan of the background art.
So
the movie's a vibe.
Right after that, and as we're going into this, and I think it's a little bit past we meet, the baddies a little more in depth as they arrive, and Sucker Punch, Ox King, and Chi-Chi and all of that. There was a shot that has some heavy depth of field on like a dandelion or something like that, and it gave me the same vibes as you mentioned with the power pole shot at the end. Like, those are probably some of the prettiest shots in probably anything Dragon Ball related, period. And they're not even really of characters, but they are just really, really good shots. Like, I don't know, like it's very like that. Like even now, of all the things that happened in that film, I'm remembering back to a shot of like Goku or Chi-Chi's face in the background, or Gohan or Chi-Chi's face in the background, and a shot of a dandelion, but it was so well done, like.
Yeah, no, all the art here, they went hard on just showing like the back. Like I said in the reaction on Patreon, which goes right, it looks like a Disney shot. Like, they were definitely flexing. They were like, we paid a lot of attention to this. Like the way Gohan like moves in and out of the shade and stuff of the trees. That's where this movie went really hard, which, if you're more of a Dragon Ball Z head, it could be a little disappointing. But the background art was amazing here.
So to pick up right here immediately, I think both of us were pretty disappointed when Chi-Chi did not at least fight a little bit.
I was expecting a little bit of a Chi-Chi fight scene, bro. I was getting kind of hyped for it.
I hate the fact that they had her just have like a just cheap shot and super overpowered, because again, we mentioned this, in the reactions, and we mentioned this probably several times in the podcast now too, but the farther we go away from the beginning of Z and Dragon Ball, the farther we stray away from the humans having any relevance, period, right? Like,
any at all. I thought they were going to give a little. Just go ahead, you got it.
Well, I mean, TOP did it, so TOP did it. So it's not to say that we're just totally out of the realm. Better. But we know how Z goes. We know what's happening. So it's just like to know. This was created then. They probably didn't have the foresight to know where they were going to necessarily go 100%, but. It's just with us knowing everything we know, these are the moments to like see these characters, have their time to shine. And like, yeah, Chi-Chi's going to lose. That's her. Ultimately, she was going to lose there, but like, let her fight a little bit. I would love to have seen some Chi-Chi choreography, especially again.
Yeah. And for some reason, bro, I don't know if you felt this. Maybe it was just the extra effort they were putting in on making sure like her hair was moved, but her design, like as a character, looked pretty sick.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and that was another thing that set up for me thinking that we were about to get like a crazy awesome Chi-Chi like
Like she removes she removes the apron and like again, this is where they were flexing. It was in the animating the little stuff they normally wouldn't. Yes. Like the apron like has gravity on it. You can see it, and like her hair, the way it's moving, like it looks like it's getting ready for an action shot, basically. And I'm like, damn, bro. I was like, this is about to go crazy.
Have you played to the point to where Chi-Chi and Goku fight in the DLC for Kakarot?
Yeah, like the little cutscene where she's just swinging and missing. Yeah, I thought that was going to be like that.
Exactly. Coming off of that, more so had me like thinking we were going to see some of that here. And after seeing the people like fight and stuff, I mean, Chi-Chi could have at least held her own for a second. They didn't have to do her like that, basically, is all I'm trying to say. Long-winded way of saying
it. They could have given her a little respect. Maybe like they reveal all three of the henchmen, and then was Garlic Jr. even there? No,
Garlic
he wasn't.
Jr. was not there. No,
he was chilling.
Yeah.
So I think they could have done like the first henchman could have fought with her a little bit, dodged. Like obviously he's in control or something, but maybe like a few hits, and then the reveal that there's two more would have been just like, all right, it's over. Gohan gets kidnapped. But immediate like friction fist kill, bro. I was like, damn, we were robbed of a good Chi-Chi fight scene.
Rip. Then
Ox King just gets taken down, bro. Yeah. Ox King is the biggest joke in all of gaming history, bro. He is trash, bro.
Dude, it was. Now I will say that to backtrack just a step here is that the reveal of the first, like the true reveal, not just when they're fighting Piccolo before the proper Dragon Ball Z intro that we got. But the reveal of him behind Ox King was pretty cool.
You was a fan of the shading. You was a big fan.
Yeah, so they were shading them. They were kind of like making them be sort of like mysterious. And literally as I'm saying that, again, to watch our reaction, it is over there on the Patreon. But as I'm saying that, one of the guys walks out of their house eating like apples or something like that. And you can see him plain as day. And I'm like, oh. Like, I thought it would have been cool if they would have kept that act up just a little bit. Because then they bring it back and they do it for Super Garlic. They do it from Garlic Jr.'s like, transformed. Like, they definitely leave him a little. And I'm just assuming that is like supposed to like leave some like mystery to the character a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But that was the vibe I was getting. Like, especially their shadowy figures fighting Piccolo. Then their shadowy figures fight, showing up to fight or get Gohan. Like, I don't know. It was weird. Then the one just walks out. And it's just like you can see him plain as day eating food. So it's like, oh okay.
Yeah, no, I was really, I don't know, bro. I liked the shading. I liked all that. I wish they just would have let that scene play out a little longer. That would have really done a lot for me.
Yeah, because they could have. We can skip ahead just a little bit because that could have, if they wanted to keep it at a certain runtime, they could have taken away from that
so much more. I want to get there to complain so bad, but yes, that has to do with like the character likes apples. They're like foreshadowing that, like he steals apples out of their house. The first scene that comes in way later that you could have cut all together, man. Just make it a Chi-Chi fight scene. Whatever. What's important is that they came to get Gohan because he was wearing the hat with the Dragon Ball. That's what Garlic Jr. wants. That he wants to make a wish,
and they get out of there before Goku can get there, and so they're all gone.
I forgot he comes sprinting out of the pond naked.
Yeah, he's butt ass naked, comes sprinting out of the pond with a big old fish.
Goku, honestly, his list of things he loves to do is training, fighting, number one. Anything to do with physical martial arts, just beating ass. That's number one for him. Number two, for some reason, has always just been fighting fish naked. Bro loves fishing naked, getting in the water with them. Every iteration of Goku loves doing that. Listen, that's his hobby.
If I was Goku and I didn't have to worry about anything when I hopped into water, period, I'd probably hop in naked too, man. Like what,
Yeah, but bro, between you and me, I'm not making that my whole day, bro. Like I'm not like, sorry, honey, I got to go out and wrestle with the fish. Of course, I'm not going to need any clothes. I should be good.
Bro got dressed unbelievably fast, by the way. Like it was one scene he's still naked carrying the fish, next scene he's clothed. Like
that was what found me, is because like obviously he runs out because he thinks like distress is happening at the house.
Yeah.
So at what point is he like, hold on, I should probably put my clothes on first?
Dude, I genuinely thought he was gonna show up butt ass naked.
Exactly, because
that's beat some ass with that fish, dude. He was still carrying that fish, and I really, really thought, and I kind of wanted to see him show up and be like, bah! You know?
Yeah. He just should have showed up and be like, what are you guys doing here? Don't ask about why my dick's out, bro. Like that's not important right now. I'm Goku. Nice to meet you.
They gotta let us rewrite these movies, man. We can reallot budget. We can change things up.
I'm glad our version of the Dead Zone would be Chi-Chi gets a fight scene, still loses, and then Goku shows up with his cock out, man. We really could bring a lot. Like Toriyama's true vision could live on with us.
Oh my gosh. Anywho, so at that point, Gohan is now at, again, shout out to what Doto said, great environmental artist for this movie. Because the environment and the shots of Garlic Jr.'s palace is like really cool.
Yeah, it was like, again, like the environment is where they went crazy. Shout out to the background artist. They was working them to death for this one.
Also, Garlic Jr. providing more of the foreshadowing that Gohan is going to be a beast at some point.
Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only reason Gohan gets to live. By the way, they had a funny shot of the movie that I don't think I made enough comments about was the fact that they had all the Dragon Balls on the table they had acquired. I think they had 4 or 5 on the table. They had 4
at the time, and
Gohan's they had 4 Dragon Balls on the table, and then next to the table they just had Gohan sniveling, crying.
Yeah,
because his hat had a Dragon Ball on it. I was like, bro, just take it off his head. Take it off his head, put it on the table with the rest of them. But no, Gohan gets to live because Garlic Jr. looks at him for 3 seconds and goes, wait, this kid's pretty strong. There's something different about this guy. He's just built a little different.
Yeah, he's built different.
So he gets to live, and he's now my 4th little underling. Boys, we're training this one. Just makes a team decision on his own.
And then at that point, Goku's now at Kami House, is letting like Krillin and
Roshi
and Bulma know what's up.
He's getting the Dragon Radar from Bulma, getting a status update.
Radar. Yeah,
bro. You had to find him, bro. Every time someone goes missing in Dragon Ball Z, just get the Dragon Radar.
Yep.
It's basically just important stuff. Yeah,
it's an air tag.
I air tagged my son. That's actually what Gohan. That makes so much sense. That's what Goku did. Yep. He air tagged his son.
Yep, 100%. That is exactly what that is.
Goku microchipped his boy. That's crazy.
Man, we need to look up the origin of the first, we know AirTag was not the first one, but the first person that made like a small tracking device like that for people, like were they inspired by the Dragon Radar?
Bro, like I have some of those in my pets, bro. Like my cat technically has like a Dragon Ball on them. Only for the vet, like that little microchip they do.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then after that, you and I are having this realization because the one thing I did remember about Garlic Jr., and again, not sure if this is from the movie or from the TV show, is that he does have immortality. He's unkillable. And so we start having the realization of like, is he going to actually get all the Dragon Balls? And like, is Shenron going to grant him his immortality wish? Because that's crazy that they go ahead and like let Garlic Jr. get that dub, you know? Like
that's what we were talking about before we watched this shit, man, is the to a kid, this is like, okay, now you're saying that Shenron can make you immortal. Like straight up, that's a fact. But it's not canon. But bro, this is what we were talking about with these movies, man. I'm glad they changed that because Garlic Jr., like you're right, he just wins. He gets 7 before they can stop him and just gets that immortality granted.
I mean, that doesn't happen any other time in the series, right? Unless I'm forgetting something. Like this is the one time that a villain like actually does that, and it's canonically before any of Dragon Ball Z even happens.
Yeah, no, I don't think like Frieza wants to do it. Frieza basically looks at Garlic Jr. is what Frieza wishes he could be.
Yeah,
like that's Frieza's entire arc.
Yep.
Chi-Lai gets a wish off on Shenron to get Broly out of there, so that's a pretty big feat for Chi-Lai.
Yeah, yep, sure.
But anybody else, bro, they're not doing it like Garlic Jr. This man is like, he gets it done. He was efficient to the point. He didn't let anybody know his plan, and he just did what he had to do. It was literally on site for him.
And then after the wish was one of the moments that got me to laugh. I don't know if I don't know why this made me laugh so much, but you know, now Garlic Jr.'s got his immortality, and we skipped the whole. Sorry, let me get this out, and then we can talk about the other scene. But he gets his immortality, and he's saying stuff, and they're all shouting it back to him, and then Goku arrives and says like, "And give me back my son," and they all say, "And give me back my son," and I don't know why, but that found me.
That was so good, bro. Just because Goku was so sick, give me back my son. Give him back his son.
But Dada, we gotta.
We forgot, bro, because it's so boring.
Yes.
Yeah. So when they're training, I'll just say it. When they're training Gohan, he's talking about how they're trying to train him. So this one guy is trying to catch him. I don't even remember which servant it was. Let me look here. I think it was just Nikki. It was Nikki, bro. Nikki's trying to grab him to train him. And then Gohan's like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna have one of these apples because Nikki liked apples earlier. And he's like, hey, kids can't have that. Gohan eats it. Oh shit, it's an alcoholic apple, bro. And we basically just watched Gohan.
Apple, bro. I don't know if he was even alcoholic. He was on acid, bro, or something. Like,
right. He was tripping, bro. He's losing. He's dancing with dragons, running around the place. It must have been 6 minutes.
It genuinely did feel like a real 4 or 5 minutes of a only 40-minute long movie, and they had to animate a lot too, dude. There's lots of characters on screen. They were doing a lot with this section.
It was a lot. It was the musical number for the scene, basically, with no musical number.
Dude, I won't lie. And again, not to jump too much ahead, which I know we're getting a little deep now anyway, but this hurt this movie for me a lot. This sequence, because again, some of y'all might think I'm a hater for this, but I don't feel like the sequence added anything. Like, first off, we didn't need Gohan to become unconscious this way. If you wanted, like, one of them could have hit him. He could have done the classic, Trunks.
Yeah, or could have just been tired.
Or could have been just tired. We did not. There was no part of this that we need this sequence. Period. Like, period. Matter of fact, it leads to probably one of your least favorite moments of the whole movie.
Damn.
And also on top of that, it's just like, it does feel like a waste. It really took me out. Like, I felt like the flow of this film was actually pretty good. And then we got to this point and I was just like, look, like, can this be done yet? Like, I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's get through this. Like, because at first I was like, oh, it's okay. But then it just kept going on and on and on.
It went on for a little bit, like a long time. And again, the fact that it's just unnecessary, mostly.
Yes, there's that too. Yeah.
Is just like, I don't know. It just did not need to be done. But yes, we spend a long time with Gohan tripping, dancing with dragons. And mostly all of this is just to go on later where he can be knocked out and unconscious for a little while.
Yes.
And not remember what happens, basically.
Yeah.
That's the entire point of why he eats this apple and runs around and that's it. Man, I hated that part of the movie, bro. That did probably lower the score.
Yes.
For what I was feeling. Just because it was pointless, and that was classic anime moment, man. Classic anime film moment, which I disliked. What else happens after that? Where are we at?
Oh, so Goku is now here, right?
Goku's here, and he's all about getting Gohan.
We're both like, man, so how's Piccolo going to show up? And instead, it's Kami showing up, bro. Like, and again,
bro,
Kami showing up means Piccolo is still alive somewhere. I still don't get that. That intro is still so weird. But maybe that was a dub thing. Maybe that was like just a dub error, because again, but this is now later Funimation. This isn't even like late 90s Funimation. They should have been most of it fixed by then, because most of the like dub stuff now is not right. Like, I don't think most of my Super experience was subbed, but I think most of the dub issues from the 90s are all pretty much fixed at this point.
Yeah,
right?
Which we could go on a whole tangent about that. Damn. That's a whole different topic, bro. I hate that. I actually liked it better when they were more standalone, but it's whatever. But yes, they're to answer your question. Yes, they are now very. I was watching Super the other day, so I know this. They are very on the nose with this, like keeping it even, like 1-to-1, pretty much.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Anywho, so maybe it was a dub error, but either way, the intro both like definitely irked both Doto and I. And anyway, so now Kami's here and it's time
nothing.
It's time to fight, right?
Kami needs to stop showing up because he just gets embarrassed and embarrassed and embarrassed every time. So what happens is Goku, he basically only cares about Gohan. He is not here for any other reason. He runs past all of them just to go get Gohan. And so the three henchmen follow him, and it's a 1v1 with Garlic Jr. and Kami. At this point, I was like, damn, Kami's going to throw heads. I don't think he throws a single punch.
Wait. We do get a small backstory as to what all is going on here. And basically, when Kami was going to become Guardian of the Earth, Garlic Jr.'s father was also competing to be Guardian of the Earth. Now, at the time, I was like, wait a sec. Because, again, I know that you don't have to be, or I don't think there's anything that explicitly says a Namekian has to be Guardian of the Earth. Definitely not. But it was just like, because, again, they were doing that whole thing where it's all shadowy figures. And so they're showing what is supposed to be representative of Garlic Jr.'s father. And it looked like it was another Namekian, which, of course, if it's his dad, then that would go on to say, well, it's Garlic Jr. a Namekian. But middle of the movie, I did look it up. Garlic Jr., by the way, is not a Namekian. So I guess his dad is neither, but he definitely had DKP vibes. Again, it was very shadowy. It didn't really show much detail about him, but it did give me incredible like DKP vibes, but they gave background as to why Garlic Jr. is wanting to get revenge because his dad was sealed away for 300 years and didn't get the title of Guardian of the Earth, and Kami got it, and so that's why Kami's involved, and they could sense
that's
anger and evil inside of Garlic Jr.'s father and all of that. Anyway.
Yeah, this is like one of the parts of the movie. There's a few things like this is why I could see them like trying to build up like a Dragon Ball Z, the movie kind of beat, because this is basically a big lore. Like there's a lot of lore here. Like if this movie was for real, which is not, like there would be a lot of lore here. It's like Kami was chosen against this false other god, this angry one who wishes he could have been more. So he has like this hell-bent like revenge scheme. His son has to do it for him. And so it's like there's a lot of things going on like that, plus the fact that he gets a Shenron wish to make him immortal. It's like, bro, they're scaling this very heavy to make this hugely important. Except it's not. It's like, bro, please. They should have just like, I don't know, given this more time, because this is like a big thing. It's like Kami has an old rival that's like jaded.
Yes. Yeah.
That could be played up. That's a great storyline.
No, yeah, 100%.
It's a great storyline, just executed pretty poorly. Also, again, after that, like after we get that lore, that's when Kami and Garlic Jr. start fighting.
Yeah, hang on. We got to put fighting in quotations here.
Oh, there we go. Bro, Nano, I think you were letting your dog out during the only attack Kami launches, and I thought it was about to be a comeback. Bro goes like, and this is like later on. I'm just covering this because it's going to be hard to jump back and forth once we get to the main meat. So in the Kami Garlic Jr. interaction, Kami does one thing. He glows golden. Like he goes golden. Launches Garlic Jr. back with red eyes. The next time we see him, Kami got washed. And that only happened after Kami was getting washed to begin with. So he did nothing. And then he basically just said, I'm going to kill myself by holding you down and blowing up. That was everything. Kami failed. He sucks. Piccolo has to step in and save him every time.
Sag.
Bro, a Sag indeed. I'm tired of Kami acting like he'd do something, bro. Like you're cool, man. You do a great job. Just like maybe from like stay a few feet back from the action.
Yeah. Quit getting in the way, kind of thing.
yeah. Like you do not have it like that, bro. It's scaled outside of your range now. But no. Then we get
Goku
the real stuff.
Fighting the three henchmen.
Finally.
And this was definitely. I would say I enjoyed the fighting of the three henchmen with Goku more than I even enjoyed the Garlic Jr. stuff.
Hard agree.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
I would say the henchmen stuff and the choreography with them, especially we get like, that's where we get the power pole. We get a lot of stuff with them specifically. And that was probably the best part. And also as Goku's like on the ground and is about to be like, how am I going to handle all of this? Somebody shows up, dude. Who shows up?
Somebody indeed. That's two beam attacks coming in. Goku in the clutch. They get repelled. It's Krillin. Let's go. He stepped in to save him.
And then we're both happy about the Krillin debut. And then we're like, man, I wonder what Piccolo's going to look like. And he just walks up.
He just walks in, bro. Krillin gets a big entrance and then Piccolo walks in behind him like, hey, guys, I'm also here.
Now, this would have all been fine and dandy if 2 seconds after Krillin got there and saved Goku's ass. What happens?
Bro, good old Gohan wakes up, bro. Krillin, so we just see water laying on Krillin's head, going to his mouth. And then it pans up. It's Gohan drunkenly pissing into his mouth after waking up from his Hennessy binge, bro. Like,
dude, what? So, if you guys have been doing this rewatch with us, or if you just remember, what is their obsession?
Bro, it's not even just
him peeing.
It's not even just them. Like, let's be honest, bro. Back in the day, it's not really a thing anymore. But back in the day, I'm just going to say it. Why did the generation, like maybe a generation before our parents, or maybe even them, like what was with them and like boys peeing? Like Gohan does it all the time. In old cartoons, you'll always see like boys just pissing.
Yeah.
Everywhere, bro. The marble statues with boys just pissing, bro. What was their fascination with this? Gohan does it. Gohan does it yet again, bro. Gohan does it yet again. This time into my goat's mouth. He pisses into Krillin's mouth. And then we're talking about this because this is when the fight starts. It's going to start. So Goku's like, Krillin, can you go take care of my son? Bro, fuck you. That is your kid. He just pissed in my mouth. Damn, bro, you're lucky. Krillin's a great guy,
Krillin
man.
is a great guy, dude. Can you imagine? Like, hey, man, go take care of my kid. I know he just like pissed all over you, but like, bro.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Do your own. Like, I should have never showed up, bro. That's what I would have thought.
Yes, 100%.
I should have never showed up, bro. I can't believe it. But then we get like the actual best part of the movie. So it was okay.
But post that, if I'm not mistaken, because the power pole and the Kamehameha both happen after Krillin actually helps, because this is after we like get outside of that room. And so back to back really awesome moments, right? Because we get they pull out swords from their skin or something like that. That was an interesting technique.
They started transforming more. I don't know why these, but yeah, that was their thing. They just made swords out of their body.
Yeah, and then so then Goku pulls out the power pole to fight them, and we do get an actual extend. I was afraid we weren't going to.
Yeah, I was glad we at least got one. Honestly, I thought they were going to use it a lot more.
Yeah, I thought it would come back into play, but it never did. I was
just one use, which is okay, I guess. I wouldn't have ripped it out of the lookout just for that, but whatever. And I guess that's fine.
And then so at the same time this is happening, Piccolo is fighting the bigger one, which was Sancho, I think.
Sancho, and it is not, bro. Let's put another quotation mark on fighting.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
that guy got bodied.
Yeah, that guy got bodied. Dude, Piccolo did do a cool move, which they ended up reusing later on again with Garlic Jr. It didn't work, but he like made his like enlarged his arms or whatever, which I thought was cool. I was here.
Yeah,
for
he
that.
like muscled up his arm. I thought he was about to Gamma 2 punch the bro. Like I thought he was just gonna lay him out. Honestly,
yes. So that happens, and then after that, I think is when we get the Kamehameha. We actually get a full, and you even pointed this out. Like he did the full ass technique. Like these days, we don't really be getting it like that. You know, like they don't do we don't see the whole thing. You know, but.
Yeah, they skip a few steps on the OG form, but Goku, his technique was perfect on this one.
2 for 1 too.
A double kill, bro.
1.
Bro landed the double kill. That was crazy. Bro lined him up and everything.
And at this point, I think this is what you were talking about, where Kami is like, I guess I'm gonna have to final atonement here. And
he was going for the Majin Vegeta, and Piccolo's like, don't.
Piccolo's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like.
Actually, Piccolo, honestly, other than at the beginning when Piccolo just got bodied by the 3 weaklings, like Piccolo was on his grade A villain game on this one. He was like he walks up, he doesn't say Kami don't do it. He goes, I'm gonna make you regret wishing to be immortal, Garlic Jr. I was like, damn. Immediately he's like, you're gonna wish you didn't do that. And he just gets ready.
Yeah, this is now a 2v1, and then Garlic Jr. gets all big-avized. And now that we're really recapping this and really thinking about it, yeah, we definitely, there's way more fighting with the henchmen than with Garlic Jr.
Yeah, and that's for good reason, because honestly, Garlic Jr. does nothing. Yeah, like nothing even iconic, nothing cool to fight with. He's kind of just a big body.
Yeah, there's nothing really more to say there. He gets big, they fight. They do take off their clothes. They take off their weighted clothes. Yeah,
actually, there is one thing that during the fight, and this is a little later after they take off their clothes. But I really liked how in this movie, Goku and Piccolo actually made good on their stuff, because after they take off their clothes, they actually kind of body Garlic Jr. a little bit, and like it's kind of hinted that if he wasn't immortal, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
They drum that up, and then it's like, Goku, like I'm not playing around, bro. Like run it right now. Like you die right now. And then Goku's like, all right, if you want to fight right now, let's do it. And they actually start fighting. A little, like nothing cool, nothing that we get to like really enjoy. But while Garlic Jr. is getting up, we see them scuffling in the background. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like they really meant it this time. Like in Raditz, they didn't get a chance because Goku kind of died.
Yep.
But like they actually get a chance. It's like, no, we won. And even though we're kind of tired, like, fuck it, bro. Like you're dead now.
Yep. This is happening right here, right now. And then Garlic Jr. ruins that by giving us this lame dead zone move.
I feel like in a longer cut of a movie, I actually would have enjoyed if they got to fight a little longer.
Yes,
like,
it's so they come back. I think they're both wide-eyed, right? I think they're both like wide-eyed, like about to attack each other, or they are attacking each other, and that's when like,
they're scuffling
them because of the dead zone, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, like I was thinking that we could have had a longer fight scene, but you're probably right, Nana. Like they really needed it to show drunk Gohan like run around. Like they probably needed that time there instead of a fight scene with Goku and Piccolo. So I totally get what they were doing, and I get it.
So
I say put another drunk Gohan scene in there.
Then Dato is right. Everyone's getting sucked into this dead zone. All of a sudden, it's like Krillin, Jenny. They make you think Krillin really is about to go into that thing. Like he loses his grip, and then we hear Gohan, and Gohan comes out of the rubble, and he is not even phased by the dead zone at all. He's just standing there.
Bro, baby Gohan is different.
He.
I mean,
really
we talked
is.
about this in our Raditz episode, but baby Gohan is literally different. Not only does he have a power level higher than Goku and Piccolo combined at the age of 4, but he's not even phased by the dead zone. Everybody else is. Piccolo would have died if it wasn't for Goku catching him. I mean, he probably would have saved himself, but Goku does catch Piccolo. Yeah. Piccolo launches a useless attack. Like, it was beyond useless. Krillin saves himself, and then Gohan just stands up and goes, "What is everybody acting about, bro? I'm pissed." And that's it. He doesn't even feel it. And then Garlic Jr. and him just start beefing. Like they were just hurtling insults toward each other.
And then he hits him with a pseudo spirit bomb energy wave.
Yeah, just a fake attack, bro. He just does something. So Nana was right on his prediction that it was going to be Goku and Piccolo duo inspired, and I was right that ultimately Gohan did push him into the dead zone.
It was Gohan. Yep.
It wasn't, but I'm gonna be honest. This is not what I remembered. So I think I was remembering
the anime. 100%. A lot of what I'm remembering from this is the anime, because I looked it up and we didn't even see Vinegar and Spice.
Oh, I didn't even know that those were characters. But
yeah,
so what I'm remembering, guys, I think
to you would recognize them. I promise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I'm remembering either Gohan does. This is crazy. I think it's either he screams and just like the raw aura is what does it, or he does like a mouth beam or a Masenko. It's a yellow beam. I remember something yellow. Oh damn! Why do these two actually look cool? I like the front one.
Yeah. No. Well, first off, he kind of has a Goku aesthetic, so yeah, of course.
I know.
and secondly, yeah, this is anime stuff. So yeah, I think a lot of what I'm remembering from Garlic Jr., especially with the Gohan stuff that you're thinking of, that's definitely from the anime.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, I mean, the background art, just from the pictures I'm seeing, is not anything. It's like that looks more anime, but I'm probably going to end up liking that more than this. Spoilers. For my thoughts on the movie.
Well, that's pretty much it. That is the first.
That's it, bro. You just get sealed in the dead zone. And again, then we get the emotional shots, the cool background images, though.
That is also true. We do definitely get, then we get sort of like the setup with Goku talking about how like he wants Gohan to remain a child for a little while longer, which, spoiler alert, that doesn't happen because you're about to die, Bucko.
Yeah, but tough.
that was pretty much it. That was the movie.
That was the whole movie. It was real quick, 40 minutes, shorter than this podcast, actually.
Actually, I think we've been podcasting. Oh yeah, you're right. We have been podcasting longer than the movie.
Even just this part is longer than the movie. But we also recorded our excitement for the movie.
So
this movie got blown out.
You want to throw us some? You can't really throw us manga differences, but you want to throw us some trivia or anything like that?
Let's see if I've got any on the old wiki here.
In the meantime, I will say I thought that when we were going into this, I was kind of hyping myself up, which anyone that's watched it recently is probably going to be like, "Yo, brother." But I did think I would walk away from this being surprised, and I will say I'm surprised, but in a different way.
Well, I mean, I guess this is stuff we knew, but this is the only post-Dragon Ball entry in the series where Goku actually uses the Power Pole in combat, along with the world's strongest. So I guess he has two.
I did say, well, and I said that in our reaction, but then also I was like, am I forgetting something possibly where he brings the Power Pole back? But yeah, definitely not.
I think that's pretty much it. I guess this also makes sense. I didn't even think about it from the villain's perspective, but Garlic Jr. and his cronies try to kill Piccolo and know that doing so will kill Kami as well, but they do not seem to know that killing them will also cause the Dragon Balls to become inert. So they almost failed their plan by being so good at their plan.
Okay, that's actually awesome. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, though, is these movies fucking suck, man. Like, it makes no sense. Like, they should have lost by trying to... I hate it. But I'm not seeing anything too crazy. He uses the
Power Pole in The World's Strongest, though, which I am actually excited.
Yeah.
I do think that I will enjoy that movie more, but it could be another situation. Garlic Jr. is the first villain to be defeated by Gohan, and the first to obtain immortality using the Dragon Balls. The second being Future Zamasu and DBS.
Yep. who had to use like the souped up version to even get that. So Garlic Jr. again just sweeps these villains.
Also, sorry, I scrolled down. I'm looking now too. Is the only film which later results in anime filler saga as the Garlic Jr. will return in the Garlic Jr. saga, and the events of the film are referenced.
I love the trivia. The wiki is just getting on their ass for this movie, bro. The wiki is pissed. It is never specified as to why Garlic Jr.'s henchmen kidnapped Gohan. Simply taking the Dragon Ball would have been far easier and faster. In fact, their act of kidnapping Gohan was a huge blunder on their part. This is true. This movie sucks. Plot-wise.
Garlic Jr. is not the only movie villain to make an appearance in main Dragon Ball series anime, as Cooler appears amongst the villains escaping from hell during the Super 17 saga of GT.
Even they knew that Cooler has a little bit of that canon dog in him.
Yeah,
bro.
Dude,
Cooler has something to him that like he should be there. I agree. Cooler will be canon. Mark this down. Key Moment says Cooler will be canon before too long. I would say next 5 years, Cooler's canon. My kid's gonna grow up in a world where Cooler's canon.
I think I would agree with you, and I think that they'll probably give him a form, maybe something like
oh yeah, he's getting souped up.
I could see them making his quote unquote fifth form, like what we know Cooler to look like, as like some new level. You know, like if they canonize it, they can make that be something that like even Frieza wasn't aware of, that surpasses his like normal
Cooler. Like yeah, like I'm thinking like Cooler. I mean, there's so many ways they could bring him in, like so easily too. Like Cooler is so easy to write into this story. But they're gonna bring him in. He's gonna get a new form, Cooler Platinum, something. He's gonna be all right.
But Doto, if there's we can't do any manga references because this is the movie. I think it's time that we give our rating and really start being able to stop beating around the bush here. So I'll let you go first. I'm gonna hold up my number. I'm surprised. I think I talked about this on this podcast. I'm gonna make an Excel spreadsheet. I want to be able to know where we're at. I'll make a column for movies and a column for just the episodes. And actually, I may break it down into sagas so we can see it a little more clearly, and I have to scroll down 290 Excel spreadsheet cells. But anyway, I'm gonna hold up my number, and I'll let you go first. I can't believe what I'm giving this.
I can't either, because I think I said at the beginning. I can't remember if I said this number, but I think I was afraid of this happening. So there was a lot in the movie I did like. The background art was beautiful. I did like that. I liked the attention to the little stuff in the animation. There was also a lot that I did not like. The Gohan scene, the general plot. I feel like this plot could have worked, but the way they went about doing it and the actions they did so just shows a blatant disregard for canon, a blatant disregard for anything that makes sense. The wiki seems to know that too. So I am going to have to come around and say that, unfortunately, it did not meet my 7. It did not meet my 6. It could have been a 5. It could have been a 5. It could have been an average movie. I would say, like, I'm judging a 5 like as like an average Dragon Ball experience, something that I would say could get better, could get worse. But they put the fucking Gohan scene in there, man. And if that's the average, then I don't want average, bro. So this is a 4.
No!
This is a 4,
that's
bro. I'm giving it a 4. Really, bro?
Why did you have to copy me? Fuck.
Damn, bro. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It has some strong spots. It could have been an average film, but they included something that I just can't I can't say that's the average. That is not the bar. That is not the bar. So sadly, I'm putting this one right under the bar with a 4.
I really truly believe, and again, it's gonna be a few weeks before we get here for sure, but I truly believe that I will walk away from World's Strongest.
I believe too.
Enjoying it more. And I think of the first 3 movies, which I feel like are kind of in their own little like subsection of the movies, you know, I definitely feel like I will enjoy Turles the most. I
agree.
I think I will. I could be wrong on that. And yeah, there was just, there's too many fumbles in here. Like
too many to count.
Way too many weird resource. And I think as we watch some of these, and I feel like we have more of maybe an analytical eye, you know, watching these and doing a podcast and stuff, as opposed to just like sitting back and I'm going to watch Dead Zone with my kiddo today or something. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, some of this is just like, what are we, like, I'm sorry. The Gohan thing instantly killed it for me. And then the fact that I just remembered, and again, beating a dead horse, but it probably is the anime filler arc that I'm remembering a lot of this from. But I just remember liking Garlic Jr. more. And like I felt like I remember way more scenes, you know, with Garlic Jr. that were cool. Because I don't have like a negative, like I don't have like this like built-in negative sort of like feeling towards Garlic Jr. I've always been,
I don't either,
not necessarily indifferent, but I've always felt like he was a fine villain, you know, for a filler-esque villain. But like this, he kind of sucked. Like as we already mentioned, I had more fun watching them fight the henchmen than actually fighting him. So like, I don't know. I wasn't really vibing with Garlic Jr. here that much.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. He is kind of just I mean, they could have written him so much better. The only saving grace is I do like Chuck's performance. I think the peel-off, it's kind of cool to hear like peel-off, but he actually knows what he's doing, I guess. Kind of take.
Yeah. I will say that, like a more confident version of Pilaf, because Pilaf, every time you see Pilaf is very shaken. You know, he's very
she's shaken. His plans fail. He fucks up. He loses. So it's cool to hear that voice, but like an I'm winning kind of context.
Yeah. Either. What's the saying that 17 says?
Either protect the earth or become the fertilizer.
Chuck got to like hone some of that, you know.
So but when your best part of you is something that was added in 1997 or 2005 actually is when Chuck came around, bro. When you got to add that on, bro, like it's already too late. Not saying anything about the other movie. I'm not judging their performance. I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying for Garlic Jr., if that's the one thing I took away is that the voice was pretty cool for him. Bro,
and by the way, movie, man. Just to cut anyone off, I don't care. Like if you're like, well, if you would have watched it through the sub, you would have gotten this or this. There is nothing the sub could have done that would have saved this movie.
It would not have saved the movie. The only thing that even saves the movie to a 4 is, again, like if you want a wallpaper engine movie, like this you can come to this movie for some wallpapers, bro. Like some decorative backgrounds, or you know what, Dragon Ball perfect shots on Twitter. This movie is for them. Like that's what you're looking for. Like you can get a lot of good Twitter GIFs out of this, but like an average sit down experience where you're taking in the story, this sucks for that. The big fight, if you're here for the big fight, watch any other movie, because the henchman fight, if you want a good henchman fight, I guess you could watch this one. Watch any other movie for every other category, bro. It's a 4. It's a hard 4. You know it is.
And I guess, to be fair, with Garlic Jr.'s Dead Zone, I guess it kind of sets it up to be, because that's already kind of a cheap like move anyway. You know, just creating a portal that like sucks everything in and just sends it to the Dead Zone is already kind of like a cop out move. But I'll be damned, man. I don't know. Just Anyway, we're beating a dead horse at this point, but those were our numbers. Those were our thoughts on old Garlic Jr. here, Dead Zone.
Old Dead Zone.
I look forward to watching this arc here in like a year, probably.
I do too. Actually, in a couple years when we get to the Garlic Jr. anime, I'll probably be hyped.
We are consistent, by the way. We're just making jokes because you can only watch so many episodes per podcast, and there's a lot of episodes. At minimum, that is a year from now in terms of episodes.
Damn.
You know what? Maybe not fully a year. I think as we've done this podcast, which again, I'm treating this a little more like a special as opposed to like falling in line with the episodes. But just to note something here, I do think that when we get into Namek, there's going to be more filler than I'm giving it credit for right now. Like, I think we will end up watching more episodes in the Namek saga than I'm probably really thinking. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of downtime in Namek. Like I've said it so many times in this podcast, I think I'm going to walk away from Saiyan Saga going, why did all this time I think Saiyan Saga was more in the lower tier for me when it's actually probably going to be more in the upper tier, actually.
Yeah, I guess if we're loosely touching on that, I guess that's a fear of mine as well. Because when I think of Namek in my mind, it feels like there wasn't a lot of opportunities for, obviously I'm expecting filler in the form of like screaming and like charging and like laughing.
Yes.
Yeah. But it feels so intense in my mind that I can't remember any times where it's like, oh, let's take a break and do this, other than maybe like some stuff Bulma does. But like, now that you brought that up, I'm worried that maybe Namek filler are going to go a little crazy. Yeah,
so we might get to Garlic Jr. because Garlic Jr. runs from around from episode 90 to episode 100. So we may actually get to Garlic Jr. faster than I'm thinking. So we may be there sooner than later, but it will still be at least 6 to 7 months before you're hearing us talk.
It'll still be later
about Garlic Jr. in anime form. And I would love to come back and maybe reference some of this. You know, it might, and if you're watching this in the future, this might be a fun one to watch and then also listen to our opinions on the Garlic Jr. saga when we're there too. So
Who's gonna do it better?
Anywho, that is our first Key Moments movie special. Looking at,
I can hear it now.
You know, I keep saying first. What if we've really gotten in our bag, Nato, and by the time this is technically airing, we've already done like a movie review,
a Jujutsu Kaisen special
or something, man.
Oh, I do love that movie.
So you know what? Who knows? But at least this is our first
Dragon Ball. This is the first big one.
So
yes,
Nato, any final remarks as the people are hearing that beautiful theme song?
I was gonna say that jingle is jingling. I have no remarks other than Dead Zone. I wish he could have been so much more, man. I'll see you in the anime in 7 months, bro. 4 from me, 4 from Nano. I'll see you when I see you. That's Rit. That's Sag.